Okay. This is going to be a little bit new for the new listeners that I have and the new subscribers and stuff. But if you've been rocking with Sue Bagels for a minute, then this isn't going to be new to you. But for most people, it will be new. This isn't an episode of my show. This is actually going to be the first video that I put out that is outside of Sue Bag's Garden. And that is because, well, the Game Awards are happening next Thursday, at least when I'm recording this. So in about 5 days, the Game Awards will be here. And if y'all didn't know, the Game Awards, it's pretty much like the Oscars for video games. At least that's what the person that's running it wants you to think. In my eyes, it's more like the MTV Awards for video games, but it still is considered like the biggest show for video games, as in award show, and it's also a really big industry show, so announcements happen there as well. But today, I'm going to be going through all the nominees in each of the categories, and I will be telling y'all which one I think will win and which one I want to win. So one's going to be more objectively and then one's going to be more subjective. In some categories, what I want to win might be what I think will win, and vice versa. But before I hop into the nominees, how y'all doing today? You know, it's nice catching y'all on this fine evening. It's nice catching y'all in a video for once. You know, it's good to be adaptable. You know, it's good to be adaptable, and it's nice for me to give y'all my thoughts on each of these nominees and stuff like that. And if y'all don't know the games that are nominated, then this is going to be good for you too, in my opinion. I'm also not going to go through every single one of these because some of these I have nothing to say, especially the esports categories. So best esports game, esports athlete, esports team, esports coach, and esports event, and content creator of the year I'll probably skip. If there's any of these that I also, best adaptation, I'll probably skip as well. Excuse me, because I haven't seen any of the movies or shows that are video game related. But yeah, we'll go through each of these. I'll give y'all my nominees. I'll give y'all the nominees, sorry. And I'll give y'all, like I said, which one I think will win and which one I want to win. It's just a little thought experiment, you know? And let's just start off with let's do best fighting game. All right, so the category best fighting game, the description is for the best game designed primarily around head-to-head combat. The nominees are God of Rock, Mortal Kombat 1, Nick All-Star Brawl 2, Pocket Bravery, and Street Fighter 6. Now, which one I want to win and which one I think will win aligns on this one. I'm just going to go with Street Fighter 6. All right, next one is best family. So best family is for the best game appropriate for family play irrespective of genre or platform. Now, I think that Super Mario Bros. Wonder will win this one, but I want Party Animals to win. Shout out to Games Pass. That's a Games Pass game. On to the next one. Best sim/strategy. Best game focused on real-time or turn-based simulation or strategy gameplay, irrespective of platform. Nominees are Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp, City Skyline 2, Company of Heroes 3, Fire Emblem Engage, and Pikmin 4. So I think this one is going to be down to Fire Emblem Engage and Pikmin. Let's just go with the both answer for this one. I want Pikmin to win, and I think Pikmin will win. All right, so the next category is best sports/racing. The description is for the best traditional and non-traditional sports and racing game. The nominees are EA Sports FC 24, F1 23, Forza Motorsport, Hot Wheels Unleashed 2, and The Crew Motorfest. I think that this one is between Forza and The Crew. For me, Forza Motorsport I think is a solid game, so I'm gonna vote for Forza, and I think that's the one that will win too. Let's do best multiplayer. So we got best multiplayer game. In this one, the description is for outstanding online multiplayer gameplay and design, including co-op and massively multiplayer experiences, irrespective of game genre or platform. The nominees are Baldur's Gate 3, Diablo 4, Party Animals, Street Fighter 6, and Super Mario Bros. Wonder. So I think Diablo 4 will win this one. But for me, I want Street Fighter 6 to win this one just because, I forgot, I think it was called the Battle Hub. But I think that fighting games going forward are going to look and inspect at what Street Fighter did, especially online. They kind of made this area where it's like you can battle with the Street Fighter characters, so like Ryu, Ken, and all that. And you could even use your own player-made character and fight other player-made characters. I don't know. It's really cool. So my vote goes for Street Fighter 6, but I think that Diablo 4 might win that one. Let's do Best RPG. So Best RPG category is for the best game designed with rich player character customization and progression, including massively multiplayer experiences. So the nominees in this one are Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Lies of P, Sea of Stars, and Starfield. So the outlier in this category, in my eyes, is Final Fantasy 16. Yes, the Final Fantasy series is an RPG series, but Final Fantasy 16 is very much more of a character action game than it is a role-playing game. So just for that, I'm not going to vote for Final Fantasy 16 on this one. I think Baldur's Gate 3 is going to win this category, but my vote's going to go with Starfield. I want Starfield to win because, you know, textbook definition of an RPG right there. Best action/adventure. This is the category that Final Fantasy 16 should be in. But best action/adventure. For best action/adventure game combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving. So the nominees are Alan Wake 2, Spider-Man 2, RE4, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I think that Spider-Man 2 could win this one just because I don't see it winning Game of the Year. The game that fits the description the most for this is Zelda. So I'm just going to go with, I think Zelda will win, and I want Zelda to win. Best action game, again, Final Fantasy 16 should be in this category. Best action game. For the best game in action genre focused primarily on combat, the nominees are Armored Core 6, Dead Island 2, Ghost Runner 2, Hi-Fi Rush, and Remnant 2. I would hope that Hi-Fi Rush wins something. So I'm going to give my votes to Hi-Fi for this one, and I want this one to win, and I think that this one will win. Hopefully. VR, I'm skipping. Mobile game, I'm skipping. Best debut independent game. Best debut indie game. For the best debut game created by a new independent studio, the games I got are Cocoon, Dredge, Pizza Tower, Venba, and Viewfinder. I think that this one is probably going to go to Cocoon because I think that's the biggest name out of all of these games. But I haven't played none of these, so I don't know out of all these, but let's just vote for Cocoon because I've heard of that one. Best independent game, so not debut indie, just independent. For outstanding creative and technical achievement in a game made outside the traditional publisher system. The nominees are Cocoon, Dave the Diver, Dredge, Sea of Star, and Viewfinder. Let's just click Sea of Stars and move on with this one. Best community support. Recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and game updates/patches. So this one, the nominees are Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14, and No Man's Sky. Let's just click Baldur's Gate because that game was made in conjunction with the community. So let's just go with BG3 for best community support. Best ongoing. Awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. The nominees are Apex Legends, Cyberpunk 2077, Final Fantasy 14, and Fortnite and Genshin Impact. I would say the ones that are most likely to win is either Fortnite or Genshin, but shout out to the Final Fantasy 14 team. That's also the team that made 16. Shout out, but I think that Final Fantasy 14 is one of the best like MMOs out right now. And you know, every single content drop they do, I always hear how good it is and how good of a story specifically that game is. So I want Final Fantasy 16 to win, but it's probably going to be either Fortnite or Genshin. I'm at a way faster pace on this one for sure. Games for impact. For a thought-provoking game with pro-social meaning or message. So the nominees are A Space for the Unbound, Chance of the Centaur, Goodbye Volcano High, Chia, Terra Nil, and Venba. Again, a category I haven't played none of these games. I haven't played not one of these games. Let's just go with Chia for both think and want. Next one is innovation in accessibility. Recognizing software and or hardware that is pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology, and content to help games be played and enjoyed by a wider audience. The nominees are Diablo 4, Forza Motorsport, Hi-Fi Rush, Spider-Man 2, Mortal Kombat 1, and Street Fighter 6. So I don't really mess with the accessibility features with any of these, but I think Hi-Fi and Forza has some amazing accessibility features, playing with it a little bit. And with Forza, you can completely customize your experience in that game. So, you know what? I want Forza to win. What will win here is probably going to be like Spider-Man 2 or some shit, but let's just click Forza. We got Best Performance, voice acting, I'm assuming. Yep. Best Performance awarded to an individual for voice-over acting, motion, and or performance capture. We got Ben Starr, Final Fantasy 16. He plays Clive. Cameron Monaghan, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. He plays Cal. Idris Elba, Cyberpunk 2077. I don't know who he plays. Melanie Liburd, she plays the girl in Alan Wake 2. Neil Newborn for Baldur's Gate 3. And Yuri Lowenthal for Spider-Man 2. He plays Spidey. I think this one is either between Ben Starr and Yuri Lowenthal. I'm just gonna go with Ben Starr because I think that Final Fantasy 16 is probably gonna go overlooked in this year's award show. Next category is Best Audio Design. So this one is recognizing the best in-game audio and sound design. So we have the nominees as Alan Wake 2, Dead Space, Hi-Fi Rush, Spider-Man 2, and Resident Evil 4. So just off the bat, I'm going to say that the horror games have a higher chance at winning this. For want and will, let's go with Dead Space Remake. Next category is Best Score and Music. For outstanding music inclusive of score, original song, and or licensed soundtrack, the nominees are Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Hi-Fi Rush, and Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Now this is a toss-up because music, you know, it's all these probably have great soundtracks. Final Fantasy 16, I personally know has a good soundtrack. Hi-Fi Rush, that game is literally like the audio experience is so crucial to that game. Zelda always has good music. I can't say about Alan Wake 2 or Baldur's Gate. My heart wants to go with FF16 or Zelda. I think FF16 is gonna win this one. I want to say Hi-Fi Rush, but the music in that game is just so crucial to so integral to the experience that it's not like supplementary like the other games are. But all right, so we're down to our last few categories that I have to pick through, and I want to do just a little intermission, just a little break. You know, this isn't an episode of my show, but I have needed to do something down here that I've been neglecting. And what do I have to do down here? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Just to go off of what I was saying earlier, I don't think that this is the end-all be-all of award shows. I do know that the game that wins Game of the Year here is kind of like the game that the streets, for lack of a better term, will kind of run away with for Game of the Year. Like last year, I already knew Elden Ring was going to win. I knew Elden Ring was going to win the moment that game came out. The second that game came out, I knew it was going to win because I seen so many motherfuckers that I know don't play no Dark Souls games, that I know don't play no single player games. Like, I just seen so many people on that game that I know don't actually play like games like that I'm just like, yeah, this is it. Like it had the world by the balls, and the only games that I know that like actually be having the world by the balls like that is like GTA, Call of Duty, and like 2K. So the fact that like Elden Ring was like, you know, like I remember there was this point where I seen like most of my friends list and they were playing that fucking game. And when I seen that shit, I was like, yeah, this is over. I was like, this is Game of the Year. But it's also because not that much good shit came out last year, you know? I can't remember off the top of my head, but I don't think last year was all that great of a year for games. But that is besides the point. This actually gives me time to talk about what I wanted to talk about earlier, and that is person that created GIFs came out and said that they actually don't like the fact that everyone is calling it GIFs and that it's supposed to be called GIFs. And that just made me think, like, the English language is a pretty ubiquitous language at this point, right? But there's so many words that can be said just differently, just based off of how they're written, you know? Like, let's go for my name, for example. So my name is Subeg, right? And it's spelled S-U-B-E-G, but I can't tell you how many different ways I've heard my name said. And it's only 5 fucking letters. It's only 5 letters. But let's go back to the whole GIF thing. You know, shout out to any Spanish speakers out there. If I got some Spanish speaking people in the audience, shout out to you. But I know y'all will relate to this because this is specifically for like Spanish people or Mexicans. So when y'all see the alcohol Buchanan, I'm pretty sure no Mexican person is ever, even if they know how it's said, I'm pretty sure no Mexican is ever going to call that alcohol Buchanan. They're always going to call it Bocanas. Just let people say whatever the fuck they want to say, however the fuck they want to say it. You know, the English language isn't that serious. We got some stupid ass fucking words. So if someone says something different from how you say it, just let it go. It's really not a big deal. You know, I'm gonna forever and always say GIF. So to me, it's always gonna be GIF. But that is besides the point here. All right, so where were we? We are at... So this category is Best Art Direction. For outstanding creative and or technical achievement in artistic design and animation, the nominees are Alan Wake 2, Hi-Fi Rush, Lies of P, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Art direction, I want Hi-Fi Rush to win, and I think it's going to win. So let's just give it to Hi-Fi. And I've probably been wrong about all these things, so I really don't care at this point. I'm low key just giving y'all what I think. Best narrative for outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game. Nominees are Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk, Final Fantasy 16, and Marvel Spider-Man 2. Final Fantasy 16 has a great narrative. I would say I think Baldur's Gate 3 is going to win just because, you know, there's so much that you can affect in the narrative and there's so much that is there to account for. So I think Baldur's Gate 3 is probably going to win this one. But, you know, I want Final Fantasy to win. You know, it was a great narrative. I haven't beat it yet. I'm about 25 hours in, but it's been great so far. Next category is Best Game Direction. Awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Spider-Man 2, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I think this one's going to go to Baldur's Gate 3 as well, but I want Zelda to win this one because the game design in this game is incredible, especially for it being on the fucking Switch. So we are at the last two. I'm going to click on most anticipated game first. For most anticipated game, recognizing and announced a game that has recognizing an announced game that has demonstrably illustrated potential to push the gaming medium forward. So the nominees are Final Fantasy VII, Rebirth, Hades 2, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Star Wars Outlaws, and Tekken 8. I think it's nice to see Like a Dragon on here for sure. But I think the one that's probably going to win this one is 7 Rebirth, and that's the one that I'm very much looking forward to. So let's go with 7 Rebirth. And now it is time. We have arrived. We are doing the Game of the Year, recognizing a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. Nominees are Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4 Remake, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I think Baldur's Gate 3 is probably going to win Game of the Year. I do have some things to say about this. First of all, it's weird seeing a remake on here because, you know, the blueprint for a great game was already there with OG Resident Evil 4. All they needed to do was pretty it up a little bit and let Leon move while shooting, and boom, you have a great game again. And it seems like that's what they did, and it seems like they're just, you know, they're getting praise for it, which, you know, it's great that they put out a great remake. But I don't think that a remake should be on the Game of the Year list, especially because the blueprint was already there. So with that being said, I would personally take RE4 off and put Hi-Fi Rush on here, because Hi-Fi Rush represents, number one, Hi-Fi Rush represents, I feel, what the industry wants. You know, it represents what critics kind of want in video games. You know, critics don't want bloated video games anymore. Critics want tighter experiences that are, I wouldn't say linear, but not bloated. And I would say Hi-Fi Rush delivers that. And not only that, it's made by a team that specializes in horror games. So a team that has made horror games has made a character action game. And not only just a character action game, but a character action game that actually innovates in that genre. I don't know. I think Hi-Fi Rush should be on this list. But Baldur's Gate 3 is probably going to win Game of the Year. Let's just vote for Baldur's Gate 3. And that is all. So I just went through each of these nominees. I went through 20 out of the 31 nominees, I believe. And I gave y'all what I think will win and what I want to win. All in all, I'm probably going to be watching the Game Awards, and I'm excited. I'm especially excited for the announcements that are going to be there, because Microsoft or Xbox, they have already announced that they will show something new at the Game Awards. So they're already announced to be there. I don't know if Sony's going to show off something, or PlayStation, or if Nintendo's going to show off something. But every year, there's always something good that comes out of this. And, you know, let's give a round of applause to the great and amazing developers that actually put out games this year. Because, you know, we might not see it as consumers, but making video games is probably one of the hardest things in the world. And the fact that we get so many great video games is just a testament to the great individuals that are working in the video game industry. So shout out to all the hardworking devs out there for providing us with great video games. If our favorite game doesn't win, you know, like, that's fine. Because at the end of the day, gaming is gaming, and everyone gets recognized for greatness at some point. Even if it's just a nominee, even if you don't win, just being there, you're recognized for greatness. Mr. Keeley, that's all I have to say about your show. I hope it's a great one. I'll be there. And to all of you guys watching this video, thank you for watching. If you got to the end of this video, I appreciate it. Give me a comment, give me a like, give me a shout out, give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down, give me a subscribe. If y'all want to let me know what y'all think will win, let me know in the comments for sure. And if not, shalom, peace. I'll see you guys next time.